Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today I'm reviewing a new album from the band Moonspell. The title is called Hermitage. Before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. So this album came out about 5 days ago. At first I wasn't going to review it. I gave it one listen and my first impression was that it was just some atmospheric black metal band. But I gave it a few more listens and I realized that this is a really good album. It's very atmospheric. I wouldn't consider it black metal though. This band has always been known as a gothic metal band, but I think this album in particular is more of like progressive death metal. Now, if you read some of the other reviews, you'll know that there's a big Pink Floyd influence on the album. Pink Floyd and death metal does not really seem like a good combination, but this band really makes it work. The Pink Floyd influence reminded me of their early 70s work. Think of albums like Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, or Animals. The riffs are heavy. There are clean vocals as well as the harsh vocals. The harsh vocals are not like too harsh, and the lyrics are understandable. Think of like vocal styles of some of the 80s thrash bands like Slayer or Testament. That kind of gives you like an idea of it. This band is from Portugal, and they have been around since the early 90s. They're very popular in their home country of Portugal, and they're also very popular in Germany. This band is new to me. I have not heard much of their earlier work, but some of the songs I did hear reminded me a little of the band like Typo Negative. This album has 10 tracks and it's 52 minutes long. So I'm just going to go over 5 of my favorite tracks from the album. So the first track I liked a lot was called Common Prayers. So I hear a little bit of an Opeth influence on this song. The riffs are heavy and the keyboards create a very cool atmosphere. So there are clean vocals on this track for most of the song. You hear a lot of progressive elements, towards the end of the song. The harsh vocals come in like more towards the end. This is one of the shorter songs on the album at about like 4 minutes. Next is All or Nothing. This song is very slow in the beginning, but this is where you hear like the Pink Floyd influence come in. There's a riff, it sounds like something like David Gilmour would write. The song moves into like a progressive death doom territory. It's one of those songs that like slowly builds. There are some like amazing guitar riffs and solos throughout the song. I also hear an Opeth influence, but from their like later albums. This is one of the longest songs on the album and a song I would consider this to be more of like a progressive rock song. The next song I want to talk about is the title track called Hermitage. So the album really takes a heavy turn with this song. This one reminded me of the band Gojira. The vocals are very harsh on this track. The riffs are heavy, but the riffs are also very memorable. There's still some guitar work on this song that is reminiscent of Pink Floyd, but it's a little more subdued here. This is the band showing off their heavier side. The next one I want to talk about is Solitarion. Now the keyboards in this intro are very ominous. You hear some loud guitars in the intro, but what I like best is the lead guitar work. The guitar tone on this sounds a lot like David Gilmour's guitar from like one of the more atmospheric songs from Dark Side of the Moon. The heavy guitars and the keyboards create a lot of like ambiance and textures. This is a 4-minute instrumental and one of my favorites from the album. Next is Without Rules, or this is the last one I'm going to talk about. This is the longest song on the album. It's at 7 minutes, 43 seconds. I hear a big like Roger Waters influence like on the vocals like throughout the song. The keyboards are very haunting. I like the lead guitar playing on this track. It reminds me again of the band Opeth. The song is slow and atmospheric. The vocal effects are really cool and they help create this haunting atmosphere. There's some clean guitar parts at 4 minutes that kind of like evoke Dark Side of the Moon again. The more aggressive vocals come in during the second half of the song. Overall, the song reminded me of one of the more like epic Pink Floyd songs. A song like Shine On You Crazy Diamond comes to mind here. So in conclusion, this is the type of album, it needs to be listened to a few times to be able to appreciate it. Now usually when I do album reviews, I try to get them out early because that's when these albums are searched for, and that's when like there's a buzz and things like that. But I think for this album, I'm glad I reviewed this one late. It gave me the opportunity to really like enjoy it and absorb like all of these like little intricate parts. This is one of those like headphone albums, you have to listen closely and take in all of the textures and ambience that are created in like every different like song. I think progressive metal fans would love this album. Progressive rock fans may or may not like it. It does get heavy at times and move into like a death doom territory. This is not fast, like breakneck speed heavy metal. This is slow, it's atmospheric. I'm going to give this album a score of a 9 out of 10, and that's a solid 9 out of 10. It's an awesome album. The production is great, the musicianship is great, the songwriting is awesome. It sounds awesome and great and things like that. This is one of those albums, I almost like brushed it off at first because I thought it was just some like dark metal album, but this is really good. I enjoyed it a lot, and that is it. Comment below. Let me know if you have heard this album or you're a fan of the band. Let me know how their other albums stand up to this one. If you would rank it like more or less, where would this album appear on their ranking? And take a look at my other videos. I got one linked right there, and I got one linked right there. Like, comment, subscribe, all those stuff. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.